Hello and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day. And if you're looking for daily short tarot readings, check out my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. If you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. Message is taking a moment to come through today. All right. It's exactly 5 cards, so that's interesting. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, and the King of Cups. Interesting. Now, I had split the deck, so I am going to flip them. We have the 5 of Swords upside down, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. All right. All right. So I know we have divine counterparts on the table here. And for some of you, you could be meeting a divine counterpart through work, but this is actually not a love reading. And I'm going to explain to you why. This is actually about partnerships. This is about networking. And the reason I say that is we have the 3 of Pentacles on the table in between these 2 partners. And we have the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles as well, which has to do with career and work and setting up for the long term. So for those of you who are very career driven, well, actually, this really applies to anybody, but I know networking is something that is more at the forefront for those of you who are career driven. You need to realize that not everyone that you meet through a networking event or at a party or wherever you meet them is worthy of collaboration or partnership or doing any sort of actual business with, or using them as any kind of resource or any kind of, like, essentially some of these people are to be taken with a grain of salt. And I'm seeing that in the past, you've collaborated with people and there's been a lot of disappointment, a lot of frustrations, misunderstandings, imbalance of give and take, imbalance of energy. Maybe the other person didn't pull their weight or didn't put in equal effort, and it didn't end so well. And so as you're moving forward, we're creating better decisions for ourselves, better actions. We are looking at things from a long-term perspective. And with the 5 of Swords being reversed, I'm seeing that you're no longer putting up with things from the past. You're no longer fighting the same battles, because now instead of fighting those battles and trying to get a different outcome, you're simply not engaging in the first place, which is a huge step forward, because that means that you know how to protect your energy and you know more about where your energy is going. Whereas in the past, I can see with the Queen of Cups and King of Cups that it was a lot of emotion, but not a lot of action that was being taken. Now, that may have been on the other person's side of things. Maybe you got very caught up in the excitement of working with whoever or partnering with whoever, and then you didn't really pay attention to their actions, and their actions didn't match the level of enthusiasm that they were giving you. And for some of you, I am seeing that you have dated people in the past that you worked with as well, and that it was a similar kind of situation. It didn't work out. Now, for those of you who are more open to the idea of dating in the workplace or working with someone and dating them at the same time. There is a possibility for this moving forward, but it follows the same kind of principles. And so as you're moving forward, you're really being asked to pay attention to, well, actually, it's more about doing your research on the person that you're interested in collaborating, working with, partnering, whatever, or using as a resource. But it's also about paying attention to the energy surrounding that person. Remember that there are some friends who are going to want to help you and promote you and will speak highly of you in a room that you're not in to give you opportunities. But then there are some friends who only want to take advantage of your skill set or want to ride your coattails or want to take advantage in some other kind of way. You have to remember that a good drinking buddy should not be misconstrued as a good resource. And what I mean by that is you may have fabulous conversation with somebody over a glass of wine at a party or at a networking event, but they may be a complete jerk to work with. You're not always going to see the full side of somebody at a networking event or at a party. So you have to keep that in mind when you're moving forward and making business decisions. And I would say that this goes not only for networking, but in general, for those of you who are less career focused, making these decisions about people moving forward, about whether or not you want to be friends with them, or whether or not you want to date them, or whether or not you are aligned enough to be in each other's lives more, those types of things. This energy plays to all of that. So I'm just going to get a couple more cards, just some final guidance on the situation. I just heard for those of you who are creative, your creative visions may not always be the same. Even if this is somebody who is a positive person that you find would be an action taker and somebody who's good to work with, it doesn't always align through creative visions as well. So you have to pay attention to that. That doesn't mean you can't support each other or work on something where your visions are more in sync. I'm just going to take 3 more cards. Okay, we have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck here. We have Death, and we have the World. Interesting. All right. You need to remember that in these situations, you hold the control of your decisions. But that means you also have to hold yourself accountable. And so if you are doing the research, if you are talking to the person, if you're asking the right questions, it doesn't mean that people will never deceive you. But if you're putting in more of the work to take the reins rather than having this whatever happens, happens sort of attitude, you're more likely to make the decisions that are going to lead you forward to the long-term type of relationships or inner circle that you're looking to build. And for some of you who are more career driven, I'm seeing that you are trying to build a separate inner circle that has to do specifically with your career. And you are in the process of creating that. For those of you who are less career focused, it has more to do with making good decisions about relationships in general and how you move forward with them. I'm seeing too that you're in the middle of this transformation, and this is all part of this transformation that we've been talking about over the last week and a half, I think it's been now. And you are building the world that you want. But sometimes we get so caught up in what we want in terms of what we think directly relates to us on a personal standpoint that we kind of forget the other influences or stimuli or people or things that influence our world. Part of why this is being brought up to you is so that you can get clear on not only what you want, but how you want your world to appear to you in regards to the things that may influence your world a little less directly. To give an example of that so that I'm clear here, you may be very focused on, okay, I want to build generational wealth. I want to have a career I'm very happy with. I want to have freedom of time. I want to have financial freedom so that I can visit my family whenever I want. But are you thinking about the people that you want to work with in the career that you're happy with? Are you thinking about some more of those sort of more outside influences? Where do you want to travel? What kind of people do you want to be your friend? What kind of people do you want to travel with? What kind of people would you want to date or would you want to have a relationship with? Who would you introduce to your family? Those types of things that are maybe less direct and maybe less, well, it's not that it doesn't influence you all the time, but or that it can't. I think you guys get what I'm saying. So just make sure you're building out the world as a whole and you're not just focused on, I'm manifesting this for myself, that for myself, this for myself. Make sure you're also thinking about, I also want to manifest this for myself in the sense that I want to work with these kinds of people. I want to have this kind of inner circle. I want to have this sort of network system. I want to go to networking events that are like this, or network with people who are like that. Get more specific, because as you're in this transformational stage, this transitioning stage of releasing the old and welcoming in the new, make sure your horizons and your mindset are wide enough that you're not just thinking about the direct influences, you're also thinking about the rest of the world that you want to create for yourself as well. So this is your reading. If it resonates with you, don't forget to like this video. Your affirmation is, I am getting specific on all aspects of the world I am creating for myself. All right, and as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.